All right, what is going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about something, a little out of the norm. I'm not going to lie. Typically, I like to make videos that are, pretty lighthearted, pretty funny, and they're on some like funny topics. But today, we kind of have one of those serious ones. We have these every once in a while, but we got kind of a serious one today, and it is on YNW Melly's double murder trial. So basically, if you don't know, I don't know, where you've been. I don't maybe you just don't care about like rap music or things like that. I don't know. So maybe you don't care, or maybe you don't know who YNW Melly is. I guess if you're kind of like newer to that, maybe you might not know because he has been in jail for quite some time now. But allegedly, he hopped in a Jeep after he got out of a recording studio, hopped in the back of a Jeep with three of his friends that he's had since like childhood. He lived with these people, and apparently he shot two of them in the head from very close range from inside the car, got out of the car, allegedly staged a drive-by to make it look like it was a drive-by, got picked up by somebody else named Fredo Bang, and then his other friend that was still alive in the car, YNW Bortland, drove the bodies to the hospital, said that they got in a drive-by, stuff like that, right? So they both are getting trials. I don't think the Bortlands has started yet, and it's going to be separate from Melly's. But pretty much, first day of the trial, Melly comes out, sits down. He's looking okay. He doesn't look that like upset or too nervous. He definitely looks nervous, as you probably would be if you were getting tried for something like that. And his defense does a really decent job, actually, when it comes to the opening statements. Basically, the prosecution comes out, says a bunch of stuff that everybody kind of expected to be hearing. Oh, Melly, killed two of his friends. We have phone records. We have text messages saying, I did that, like stuff like that, right? And that was kind of expected. I think that everybody knew that a lot of that stuff existed. Like there was a lot of ballistics and stuff that had come out. A lot of evidence had kind of leaked out beforehand from just other things regarding the trial. And so we kind of knew like where the prosecution was going to start. But Melly's defense was kind of, not something that we really knew what we were going into. And, they came out with a pretty powerful opening statement, I think. It definitely got the point across, and it was like, there's no way we can evidently, without reasonable doubt, place him in the car at the time of the murder and be the person that did that, which is really all that they needed to do. I guess that I didn't know that it worked like that. I didn't know that it they just needed that, but apparently that's all that they really need. And it works. It gets the point across to the jury, and the jury can't convict him if there's like reasonable doubt, right? So, moving forward, then we went into day 2, and I honestly don't know like exactly what happened day by day. It's been a little while, and I didn't really like refresh myself too much. But I think that there was just more evidence, was brought up. The defense did, again, a pretty decent job. They've actually been doing like a pretty decent job the whole time. They've been doing quite a lot. But yeah, pretty much stuff came up. I think videos were played showing that Melly was definitely in the car in the position that like all the ballistics and stuff kind of put him in. And that was kind of like day 2. So it didn't look like amazing. Like it did look like, oh, he is going to be in there. But yeah, that was kind of that. So then we moved on to day 3, and I believe day 3 was the day that the prosecution brought out the ballistics expert, which could have been the most boring thing I think anybody has ever sat through. The ballistics guy was incredibly boring. He talked forever, and he used like crazy like professional terms, which you're kind of not supposed to do, I think, in court. I think if you're supposed to be like you're like testifying in court as an expert, I think you're kind of supposed to explain it as if you were to like explain it to like a child. Like you're kind of supposed to really walk the jury through like, oh, this means this, and see if he did this, then it lines up here, and that's how that works. So yeah, not a great look there. People actually fell asleep both in the jury and in the gallery for both the prosecution and the defense. So yeah, it was pretty boring. And yeah, he talked forever about, I mean, about important things, but about things that nobody really like could follow, at the end of the day. So that was that. Also, I don't know if it was day 3 or day 2. I might have missed it, but there was some tension now going on inside of the courtroom. Of course, there was already tension before, but there was like some big tension now because there were people from, YNW Juvie and Sack Chaser's family who was sitting in their gallery, and they were kind of like, I don't know, making gestures or saying things to Melly or about Melly. And he got kind of upset. You could see him like getting kind of annoyed and worked up a little bit. But it didn't turn into anything too huge. I think some people actually got sent out of the courtroom for that in the gallery. I think that they got like removed for doing something like that. And yeah, that was kind of that. They just kind of give him like angry looks the rest of the time, is the best way that I could describe it. But going into day 4, I believe, if it's not day 4 or I missed a day, I do apologize. But I'm pretty sure the day I'm recording this, which is Tuesday, I believe that is day 5, but I could be wrong. But yeah, pretty much going into what I believe is day 4. They had a big like conversation before the jury was brought in. I don't really know what it's called, but they were like bringing up pieces of evidence, and the defense kind of had the ability to say, hey, yeah, that shouldn't be used because of this, and this reason. And they got a lot of it taken out because, for example, I think in one there was a firearm present in a Snapchat video from Melly. And yeah, they were like, yeah, we can't use that because now you're drawing attention to like a firearm that is unrelated. And I think that there was another one where I don't know. There was like cash, I think, and they said that can't be related. You can't use that. And there might have also been like, I don't know, marijuana or some shit like that, which of course there's going to be fucking marijuana. I mean, but yeah, they were like, yeah, that's not relevant, so let's not use that. And so, yeah, that happened. And then the prosecution decided to go a little crazy. They brought out quite the witness to testify, or not the witness, but I don't know, their fucking person to testify. And yeah, they brought her out, and it was YNW Melly's girlfriend's mom, or well, I think it's his ex-girlfriend now, but his girlfriend at the time, her mom came out. And I think a lot of people kind of expected her to almost like rap Melly out or do some shit like that, because she did have previous statements that said, oh, I don't care, I'm gonna be like snitch bitch or whatever. She said like some crazy shit like that, right? And so a lot of people kind of expected, oh, this is really gonna go downhill for Melly here. And she didn't say a whole lot. In fact, she actually said that she felt threatened by the prosecution, which I believe is the team that brought her up. And yeah, she said she felt threatened. It didn't go very well. I think that they presented her with evidence or stuff that they weren't supposed to, given that conversation in the beginning of the day. And yeah, it didn't look great. The prosecution kind of fell apart during it. They had a bunch of sidebars. They did a bunch of like weird shit. And then they finally asked her or they implied that she was being paid by Jameson Francois, which is YNW Melly's manager, to, say the things that she was saying and not rat Melly out pretty much. And, that didn't go over well with the defense, to say the least. They made like, I don't even know how many objections, and surprisingly, quite a few of them were actually sustained. It's not like the Amber Heard trial where we just have objection, hearsay, and they all get overruled. There were actually some good objections that did get sustained. And pretty much that day wrapped up. But at the very end, YNW Melly's defense team got up, and they said, hey, this is not going to be working for us. Like, this is bad. The evidence that was brought up is inadmissible or some shit. Clearly, I'm not the best, legal person. I don't really know a whole lot, but I'm trying my best. They said something like that, and then they pushed for a mistrial. They said that the jury was tainted. A bunch of shit was tainted. They said their reputation was tainted for letting something like that happen. Like, it was way out of the prosecution's, ability to like do what they did, I guess. And so they didn't like that. They pushed for a mistrial. I believe that today they are discussing that, which is, I believe, day 5. Like I said, I could have missed a day or gotten something mixed up, but I think that's how it went so far. If you guys want to see more of this, then go ahead, leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and comment, because I don't know. I could make a couple more updates, seeing how long it goes. I don't know how the mistrial thing went today, but, we'll see. And, I can make some more updates. I can follow up on this. It's not typically my thing, but, I don't know. I've been watching it. I've been paying attention to it because I, did like Melly back in the day. I liked his music. I thought it was pretty good. But, I'm pretty invested in the trial, and even just as like a neutral kind of viewer, because honestly, I think if he did really do it, that is pretty bad, and he definitely should probably, go to prison for it. I don't know about the whole death penalty thing, but I think that he should definitely, face the consequences of doing something that fucking crazy. But at the same time, if he is innocent, I don't know. I kind of want to see it out, see all the evidence, shit like that. I'm finding it pretty interesting, so I thought that I'd just touch on it real quick in a video. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, if you did, like, comment, subscribe, let me know, and I can make some more of these, because I don't know, it's something I'm interested in, and maybe some of you guys are too. I know that Cam from Cuff Boys is doing a really good, like, in-depth kind of recap every single day of the trial. I've been watching him for most of my information on it. So if you do want something a little more in-depth than what I just did here, go check out his videos. They're pretty good. So thank you guys. I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.